Welcome back, everybody, to vlog number 2, Texas Tom playlist with American Truck Simulator. Again, we are working to get a simulation here on what it's like to be an owner-operator in the game American Truck Simulator. Week 1, we decided we were going to work for the company Pioneer Natural Resources. We're based out of Fort Stockton, Texas. And after week 1, after our expenses, we're able to start week 2 with a balance of $211,000. And we'll talk about that financial breakdown here in a little bit. We also decided that we were going to do another week as a company driver to give it a little bit more of a realistic approach. Obviously, if you buy a truck and you do upgrades, which we did, it's going to take a while for that truck to be delivered. In the game, you can get that truck instantly, but we want to make it a little bit more realistic. So we are doing another week as a company driver. This will be the last week. Week 3, we will start with our truck. So you'd be looking forward to see that. But we did another week here as a company driver. So again, we're using Pioneer provided trucks, Pioneer loads. So we either took loads that were shipping out of Pioneer or were shipping to Pioneer. So in week 2, we traveled over 10,000 miles. This was more than week 1. We traveled more miles, but we took less loads. If you remember, in week 1, I believe had 29 total loads. This week, we only did 26, but we did travel more miles this week. We also made more money this week. We brought in $336,000 of income. So that was a really great week. Ironically, the most popular load type was frac tank. That was the highest number of loads, but we did a variety of load types this week, which you will see when we break down the driver log. But so we had a pretty good week, 336,000. The week before, I think we did close to 250. So we did make more money this week. There's some captures again of the week, some of the different trucks we use, some of the different loads. But now let's look at the driver's log and see how it compares to week 1. Okay, so here is the driver's log for week 2. Again, company trucks, company trailers, so everything is being either shipped out of Pioneer or received to Pioneer. No deadhead because the game just ships you instantly to your load and destination so you can start driving. Again, brought in $336,000, traveled 10,000 miles with an average rate per mile of $33. That also increased from last week. You see, we traveled pretty much exclusively in Texas. We did hit New Mexico and Arizona, but pretty much we were staying in Texas with these deliveries. Frac tanks, equipment, crude oil, those were the major load types that we were taking. Again, the highest rate was 25,000. We had a couple 20,000 and over loads, which was the same as week 1, but the loads are averaging slightly higher here in week 2, which is great. We didn't run into many wrecks this week. We did have an issue. We ran out of gas on our first load, so we had to call and get some emergency fuel delivered. Again, that cost was picked up by the company, so no cost to us. But we did have some, that was interesting that we ran out of fuel, even though they provide you the fuel. Um, so that gives you a breakdown of what we did week 2. Again, we're looking for lanes. Some of the loads from week 1 were not available week 2. I know we were looking to try to focus in San Antonio to see if we could find something constant, and that was not the case. So it seems to me that the game randomly generates loads. That's going to be an issue when we get in our own truck, I think, because that's probably going to cause us some deadhead getting to Pioneer loads. I was hoping that we could find some specific lanes, but through 2 weeks, I'm not seeing any data that's going to help us through that. So now let's look at the financial breakdown for the week and the accounting report. Okay, so here is the week 2 accounting report. We added our income into our starting balance. That gives us $547,000, $500,000 already in week 2. So very lucrative being a company driver. You can make a lot of money if you just do that. But that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get a simulation here of what it's like being an owner-operator, which we will start week 3 driving our own truck, so we'll see what that's like. Our expenses for the week, we had our daily loan payment, which was $76.02 a day, and then we also bought a container carrier trailer and upgrades. That was something I noticed driving this week was I'm not sure that we're going to be able to just do crude oil deliveries the entire time. They weren't available as much as I thought they would be, and they're only available at those Pioneer sites. So I'm worried that if we get in that tanker trailer and we deliver somewhere, we're going to have a hard time finding a load back to Fort Stockton with that tanker. So we already bought the truck, we already bought the tanker trailer, but I bought this container carrier trailer as well because that might help us find more loads getting back to Fort Stockton. And we'll see how that plays out week 2 or week 3, excuse me. But this is the accounting breakdown for week 2. So at the end of week 2, this is what our skills points look like. Um, we focused on adding some distance after week 1. Uh, we didn't have a lot of variety as far as the loads go. So we wanted to increase the distance that we could get to other areas in Texas and even into New Mexico. But we were been focusing on the hazardous cargo to get to that fuel so that we could do crude oil and then hopefully gasoline. So that was a focus point. And then some of the high value cargo, I noticed that cranes uh, are an option out of Pioneer as well. So that's what we were focusing on, and that's what our skill points look like after week 2. We are going to end week 2's video or vlog with this little teaser. This is our new truck. This is the truck we bought after week 1. Finally got delivered here at the end of week 2 at our garage here at Fort Stockton. And this is what we are going to use to get our company started. As you can see, a Peterbilt truck. This is going to be the start of our company. So week 3, we'll be driving this truck. We have 2 trailers available. We have the fuel tanker trailer and we have the container carrier. So looking forward to see where week 3 takes us. Again, we'll no longer be operating the company trucks and trailers. We're going to be operating our own stuff. So really excited to see where this takes us. We hope you join us. Again, if you like what we're doing here, give us a like. Please subscribe to the channel. We are going to do this Pioneer playlist for a while. Hopefully, I don't think we'll do 52 weeks, but we'll do quite a few weeks here because we want to expand our company. If there's any other companies in American Truck Simulator that you would like us to do this similar type of vlog for, please let us know. Drop it in the comments. We have a couple ideas already in mind. People reach out to us that some seem pretty tricky, some a little bit easier. What I'm finding out is Pioneer's probably going to be a medium as far as there are some locations in Texas, but outside Texas, uh, we're going to run into some problems, I think. But we'll find out here week 3 once we start working for ourselves. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time.